Okay, now that we have learned how to ride our ski bike for the most part, turning, stopping, edge control, body positioning, weight balance, that kind of thing, what we're going to do is we're going to take all that and tie it all together. So we're on a nice blue run. For those of you familiar with Winter Park, it's White Rabbit. And what we're going to do is I'm going to do a couple of turns where I'm letting the bike fishtail underneath me, and my body weight, again, still nice and neutral. Not really a whole lot with the handlebars. I might have a little bit of down input as I do on my mountain bike, but I'm not going to have the big bar input like we do when we're learning how to turn. So minimal bar input, and to get the bike to turn, we're not doing big turns, we're doing little baby fishtail turns, as if we're scrubbing speed on a cat track. So to do that, what we do is we use our feet and our hips. So these are my feet, again, if I'm going down that direction, if I want to turn to the left, a little bit of input on the left, turn to the right, a little bit of input on the right. So left, right, left, right. And then for you skiers, you'll learn, or you'll notice that you guys are going to have a pretty easy time picking this up because you're going to have a lot of hip motion as well. So if I'm turning to the right, I'm going to push a little bit down with my left peg, throw my right hip into it. Hockey players, think of throwing a hip check as you're stopping. So turn to the right, a little bit of pressure on my right foot peg, turning with the left hip. So it's this kind of motion. Think of Happy Gilmore, it's all in the hip. So that's the first type of turn I'm going to do. The second type of turn I'm going to do is carving turn. So instead of the bike sliding underneath me, it's going to be all on the edges. So this is going to be more for racing, because scrubbing speed like that's going to keep you slower. If you get the bike on edges, obviously you have less contact with the snow, so you're going to be going a little bit faster. So you'll notice a difference. We'll do a couple of sets of each of those, and then we'll stop, let my husband demonstrate. We'll follow him so that you can see what it looks like from the outside. So let's go ahead and get going. I apologize if it gets a little windy. It's a little breezy up here right now. So we're going to start off just by doing the nice sliding turns, like so. My skis are relatively flat. You'll notice that I'm still charging over the front of the bike. I've still got my weight forward. Let me get over this crest here. So I'm doing turns mainly with the skis flat. I mean, obviously you have to get it up on edge a little bit to get them to turn, but it's all in the hip. So I'm going to really exaggerate my hip throw just so that you can kind of see it a little bit better. Let's come over here. Okay, so now I'm going to do some carving turns where I'm more up on edge. So these turns are going to be a little bit wider. For this, I'm going to crouch down just a little bit, but I am keeping my weight forward. So you'll notice that my skis are really getting up on edge. The turns are a lot wider. They're a lot faster. And then I'm going to go back to doing the fishtail turns. And you should be able to see behind me that on this kind of turn, you're throwing snow. On the carving turn, it's a completely different look. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn around. And then we're going to let hubby go ahead and demonstrate some good fishtailing sliding turns. Okay, so if you notice, his skis are transitioning from base to edge, base to edge, base to edge. And if you watch his legs, he's kind of bending. Let's see if I can match his turn. There we go. So you could tell when his skis get on edge.
My brake lights don't work.
Do you want to try carving turns, getting it up on edge? Do you know how to do that?
You got a demo for me first.
Okay, so you're gonna have to crouch down a little bit more, and what you do is you're gonna have to get more bar input, obviously because the skis can't slide around. And what you want to do is you want to come around the corner on those edges. So instead of the bike sliding, you're going to be on edge as you rail around.
Okay.
So your weight's going to be uphill, a little bit of weight on the uphill bar to keep that bike from sliding. And you'll know when you're on edge because it won't slide. So we'll do a couple up here. Let's get over here. So little tricky, huh?
Yep.
You want to work on that on the way down?
Yeah.
Go for it. All right, we'll follow him, see how he's gonna do. All right, what I want to watch is his skis and see if we can tell when he goes from edge. Whoa! Little too much uphill.
Huh?
Little too much uphill weight. Whoopsie daisy. All right. There you go. There you go. There you go. That's what you want right there. That was good. We're going to keep our speed and control by staying forward. I'll show you when we get down here what happens if you lean back with too much speed. So we're just going to make nice smooth turns. Now, I do have a considerable amount of pressure on my handlebars. This is a blue run, so it's a little bit steeper than what we were on before. So I got more weight forward. I've got more weight on my handlebars, so your arms are going to get a little bit more tired. But what that does is it really lets that back ski slide around underneath you. So if I lean back, let me lean back here where it gets a little bit flatter. Now I'm leaning back where I've got full arm extension. You'll see that I can't really, when I can turn it a little bit, but can't really get that back ski to slide and glide around behind you like normal. So leaning back is back. So we'll go back to leaning forward and you can see how much smoother it is. So these are nice, smooth, connected turns with leaning forward. And if we lean back, you'll see how quickly you gain speed, how hard it is to get the bike to actually turn. And my struggle is real, people. I'm not exaggerating this at all. And then we'll lean forward. Nice and slow, in control. La-di-da-di-da. Everything is nice and smooth. Now, if you're interested in learning how to run moguls, this is where your foundation is going to start. Driving forward with your body weight. Really getting into that fork. Letting that fork take the brunt of the turn and propel you into that next turn. If you're leaning back, you can't do that. It's the exact opposite. It's the shock that's going to be propelling you. So if you lean back when you turn, it's going to be a lot more lower body. It's going to be all with your legs. It's going to be really hard to make those nice, smooth, connected turns. So go back to a nice neutral body position to where we can use a little bit less upper body So now I'm more neutral in my body position. I don't have as much weight on my arms, just enough to load the fork and turn the front ski, but my body position for the most part is right over the center of the bike. I'm still leaning forward. I've still got those knees bent. I still got my elbows bent. But what I'm doing now is I'm using a combination of everything that we've talked about up to this point. I'm kind of using my body, my knees, my hips to get into the groove, push that back ski around underneath my body. That front ski is still loaded enough where it's getting good grab on the snow to initiate the turn, which is going to keep your speed in check. So this is just kind of, a nice, good neutral body position. So if you feel like your arms are getting tired, you'll notice that on the steeper terrain when you're new. You'll notice that you're getting real heavy on that arm pressure. If you can, stand up just a little bit, get that neutral body weight going. You'll still have your weight forward because you're standing forward on the pegs. Now, if you stand like on your heels, then you've got too much weight on your front and you can't, I can't even get the back ski to slide around at all if I stand on my heels on the front of the pegs. So you really want to stand center of the pegs, ball of the feet, to get that nice good body position. Likewise, if I stand on the back side of the pegs so I can hook my legs around the horn of the seat, you get a lot of squishy side to side stuff with your legs and your hips, but you don't have nearly the control on the front ski as you would if you had a nice good neutral attack position. All right, back down to the bottom. I think that's it for now.